Hello, and welcome back to the Holistic Ritual. I am your host, Camilla Celeste, and this week we have so many things to talk about. Where do we begin?
You're listening to The Holistic Ritual, a podcast for holistic health-minded humans seeking mind, body, spirit well-being. Hosted by Camilla Celeste, IIN holistic health coach, former personal trainer, and meditation guide. With over a decade of experience guiding transformation and whole person healing, you're invited into the practice of guided meditations, affirmation readings, and spiritual insights through a holistic wellness lens. Blending ancient wisdom with modern science, this space supports you in releasing, renewing, and reconnecting with your inner wisdom. Cultivating a sanctuary you can return to each week as your own holistic ritual. Without further ado, let's get into the episode.
This week we are entering one of the most emotionally charged but deeply meaningful times of the year, aka it is the start of holiday season. For many of us who celebrate, it is a week of gathering, eating, connecting, and also slowing down, and sometimes navigating some complex feelings around these holidays that come up. I know a lot of grief can come up for some people, but yeah, just lots of complex feelings, family dynamics, travel, stress, or even loneliness can make it extra apparent during the holiday season. Today's ritual is here to keep all of that energy and approach it from a grounded place so that we can support our nervous system, our heart, our relationships, our bodies, and our spiritual self all at once. So just to give you a lay of the land, today we have so much to cover. I will go over a spiritual message. I'm going to be pulling from an oracle deck today. And then we will go over a quick little cosmic overview. There is so much happening cosmically right now. We have to at least talk about some of it. And then I will go into holistic care for this week, just in terms of everything, your mind, body, spirit, and the whole wheel of holistic health, which we will touch on more so later. And then we can move into our guided meditation and closing out with that to send you on your way. And as is the week of Thanksgiving here in the States, today's episode is going to be based around gratitude and giving thanks for the big things, for the little things. Where can we cultivate more gratitude in our lives, even if you don't celebrate Thanksgiving? So let us open with some spiritual guidance for this week. I hope that last week's meditation was something to hold you over before we are back here for our full ritual. Today, these are my favorite to do, but they require the most of my time and energy to do them. So as we have visited this a couple of weeks back, doing them every other week really helps me to stay in that creative, not burnt out, hustling from fumes type of space. And for today's message, I just want you to think about where in your body do you feel this when I read these messages. You can pick which card you would like. I will be doing 2 oracle messages today. Whether you are picking card 1 or card 2, just go ahead and decide that right now. And we have our messages. And just put this deck over here and let's find our messages in the guidebook. So if you have your card, your chosen card, whether you would like to pick card 1 or card 2, they look exactly the same on camera if you are watching. But yes, card 1, card 2. Just go ahead and pick which one you feel like resonates with you. I will be reading card 1 first. All right, Priestess. How are you being called to step up and lead? The Priestess is a teacher dedicated to service, freedom, and leadership. You don't need to have it all together to lead. In fact, it helps if you don't. No one wants a perfect angel who hasn't made any mistakes. Let your life be your message. Don't underestimate the power of sharing your story. It's by hearing someone else's journey that we feel less alone. We realize that we're actually all in this thing called life together. The difference between a follower and a leader is that a leader has the courage to go first. In stepping out, they shine a light on the path for others to venture forward too. Don't fret too much about trying to work out who is your tribe. Don't get stuck in age, income, hobbies, or occupation. The best way to discover your tribe is to look in the mirror. If you feel called to lead, chances are it's because at some point in your life, you longed for someone to lead you. Your tribe are longing for exactly the same thing as you were and are, and might only be one step behind you. Hell, they might even be right alongside you. You don't need anyone's permission. Just the courage to stand up, embrace your struggles, the peaks, the troughs. You don't need to know the way. Just believe that there might be a different one. Your tribe is waiting for you. Step forward so they can find you. How are you being called to step up and lead? And how can you be the leader you wish you had? Priestess, if we see here on this card, see if I can get it to focus. There we go. She has golden wings surrounded by 2 lions in the back, and then all of the mysticism behind her. To me, this is a combination of saying, where in your life are you being asked to be a leader? Where have you naturally gravitated towards that you are being called to lead in this area? You are divinely guided in doing this with the lions in the background here. That's her spirit team. Those are her guides. They are behind her, wanting her and waiting for her to step into her path, to literally fly, use her wings to go into the path that you're being tugged at to go towards. Maybe certain things in your life, you keep being approached with them. Certain things keep coming up, but maybe you have some imposter syndrome. Maybe your age is getting in the way. I'm too old. I'm too young to do this. Maybe your income. I don't have enough money. I have all the money. I don't need any more. That would be great, right? Yeah, maybe it is your current job that you feel like is in a totally different area of expertise than what you actually want to lead in. This card is really saying it's your time to stand up. It's your time to lead. It is your time to step into this leadership position. And you are ready to do this. Otherwise, you wouldn't be faced with the option. You wouldn't be faced with the opportunity, with the question, could I? I don't know. Can I? You can. So yes, how are you being called to step up and lead? And then card number 2, we have Council of Light, divine orchestration, helpers in the subtle realms. This is your card, your spirit team being guided all around. If you are listening, watching, Kylo has joined us for this oracle reading today as he was just walking all over the desk and making the footage all wobbly. So we are just going to roll with that. If you have cats, you know how it goes. They go wherever, and you just say, of course you do. All right, Council of Light. Divine orchestration, helpers in the subtle realms. The Council of Light is a team of benevolent beings who are here to assist in raising the consciousness of the planet. They are here to help you achieve your soul mission and are guiding you every step of the way. However, because we live in a world where free will reigns, they cannot help you without your permission. If you would like their assistance, it is time to ask them. They can help with all kinds of requests. Nothing is too big or too small. Think of them as your personal team of helpers in the spirit realm. They are willing and ready to step in and get to work. What would you like help with? What tasks would you delegate to them? The Council of Light is a team of ascendant masters, light beings, angels, and guides devoted to the rising of Earth and all humanity. If you are a light worker, it is from them that you receive your personal mission, like a spirit world United Nations. They want to thank you so much for doing the work and devoting your life to uplifting the planet. Pray to them for clarity and guidance regarding your personal mission. Put in your requests and let them get to work. This is a message from your spirit team saying that you are not relying on them like you should. You are trying to do everything yourself. That is a lot of spiritual and emotional weight on yourself. You need to ask for help. And also, this doesn't just mean your spirit team. Maybe there's somewhere in your life that you have been needing extra support with, your soul family, your tribe. We just were talking about being a leader in your community, but also this is a second part to that, I would say, in terms of asking your spirit team, maybe getting into deeper meditation on something that you have been contemplating lately. Maybe it's using a pendulum to ask certain questions, to ask your spirit team to come forward through the pendulum. Maybe it is just in a moment where you are emotionally going through it. I know there's so many retrogrades happening right now. A lot of us are emotionally going through it, myself included. How can we ask them for help? How can we ask our angels, our guides, for help? And maybe it's just something as simple as like, I need help trusting my intuition. Whatever question that's coming up lately, use your spirit team like a spiritual Google in terms of connecting with them. You can connect with them in so many different ways. Being out in nature, being in solitude, journaling, like I said, meditating. All of these things help cultivate your relationship with your spirit team, and especially asking for their help on whatever recently has been coming up for you. And I know during this humongous retrograde season, we'll talk about that in just a second, there's been a lot that's been coming up for me personally, a lot of nostalgia, a lot of what if kind of questions. Maybe that is what you are needing to lean on them for. And I have not gotten some WD-40 for my chair, so if you hear any creaks and that's just my chair, y'all. Okay. Priestess, step up and lead. Council of Light, ask for help from your spirit team. They're there. They want to help you. They want everything that is good for you and to happen for you and to you. All right. Let's put that away. And hopefully those messages resonated. And if they didn't, maybe they're not meant for you. Maybe they are meant for someone else in your life. Maybe the person you instantly thought of when hearing these messages, maybe that's who they're for. Okay. Quick cosmic energy update. I don't want to spend too long on this, as the focus of this podcast isn't necessarily 100% astrology. It is holistic spiritual well-being. Okay, and I have so many notes here because there's dates, there's timestamps, there's screenshots. We are coming in hot with all of these things. So here's what we can expect. I need a snack, actually. And we are also rocking a heating pad because it be like that sometimes. And all the things come up at once, including the retrogrades, the cramps. It's been great. Getting into our quick, energetic snapshot of the sky. Mercury retrograde is still going strong in terms of the day this episode releases. It finally releases us from its grip, comes out of retrograde on November 29th. So at the end of this week, we will still have the shadow period. Of course, I like to call it the aftershock of everything. And this has been a cosmic recipe for intensity on all levels during this retrograde season. Not only do we have Mercury in retrograde, we also have 5 other entities in retrograde. So that's 6 total, all happening at the same time, of course. Of course. For this retrograde, you might feel like your brain is finally starting to come back online. Your thoughts and your words are not getting jumbled up and scrambled as you are trying to speak. For me, it hasn't happened yet. I have stumbled over my words many a times. That could also be because I haven't eaten enough today. That's a whole other thing. I haven't been sleeping very well. So going to bed late, not by choice, waking up later, and it being a bit until I get my first meal in. But that's okay. Tonight we're popping a melatonin and going to bed super early. Evening plans when you're in your 30s. Okay. Conversations. You may have had some hard conversations. They could start to feel and become a lot easier, and you can understand people, again, a lot easier. They can flow a bit more effortlessly. Less mental brain fog in general, and then also a craving for honest communication, especially as Mercury has been retrograde in Scorpio. Scorpio is honesty, getting to the truth. It wants to know things on the deepest level. And then focus on speaking more gently and not rushing decisions this week, especially if you are going to any type of familial event or an event where there may be some opposing viewpoints with your own. Speak gently and try not to be rash before this retrograde comes to a close on Saturday. And Thanksgiving in the States is this Thursday. Venus is also moving into Sagittarius. It's been in Scorpio for a bit of time. And you might feel like in your relationships, all around relationships, any type of one-on-one relationship, they might feel more lighter, more open, more playful, more adventurous. Sagittarius loves all of these things. So focus on being honest with yourself about your connections, on curiosity, getting curious about other people, getting curious about your own needs with other people, and also giving people grace as we transition out of this murky season. And then we just had the Scorpio new moon that felt like a full moon. The energy was so chaotic, I feel like. On November 20th, the energy is probably wrapping up a little bit as the moon has already moved into Sagittarius and then now Capricorn. So you might be feeling introspective still, a little bit emotionally tender. You might have some lingering things. If you think back to this last Thursday, wherever you are in the world, whatever day that was for you, 20th or the 19th or the 21st, think back to those days. What kind of days were you having during that time period? What was the energy feeling like? What was your emotional state during that time? So maybe some emotional tenderness was coming up, and also something might have surfaced that is ready to be shed and let go of during those last few days, or even over the days leading up to when you are listening to this. And then you might have been pulled into some type of reconnection with yourself. So, really evaluating where you are and what you need on a day to day. For me personally, I have decided to redo for like the fifth, sixth time by now, The Artist's Way. And it is just writing, doing meditative morning page journaling, and then also going on a solo date each week to help foster more creativity and to get your creative spark back. I've done this program so many times. If you're interested, The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron, I could not recommend it enough, not just for creative individuals, but also for anybody in general who feels disconnected from creativity in their lives, period. And creativity isn't just for the artist, it is a core part of who we are as humans. So, yes, focus on emotional clarity, resting, and deeper inner gratitude, which we will spark and help cultivate for our guided meditation a little later. So, retrograde energy still active. Mercury retrograde ending November 29th. Jupiter retrograde in Cancer ending March 11th. We still have some time on that one. Saturn retrograde in Pisces. It ends November 27th to 28th ish, depending on where you are in the world. Neptune is retrograde also in Pisces, and that ends December 10th, 2025. Uranus is retrograde in Taurus. That is ending February 3rd, so we still have a bit of time to go for that. And then Chiron is retrograde until January 2nd. Heavy, heavy skies and energy right now, so you might feel a bit slower, tired, even sensitive, and also reflective, as retrogrades tend to bring up a lot of reflection on the past and whatever theme is surrounding that planet. So, Mercury is communication, technology, thinking, speaking, writing, any type of things like that. Also, travel and your daily movements. Jupiter is abundance, growth, expansion, all of the things that have to do with that. So, like wisdom, also luck. Saturn rules discipline, structure, karma. Neptune is dreams, intuition, illusion. It's a very like psychically sensitive sign. And also Uranus, we have change, liberation, innovation, breakthroughs, awakenings. And then Chiron, healing, wounds, integrating those lessons from the wounds. So not only is it core wounds, but it's also gifts from healing those wounds. So, all in all, think about these areas could be coming up during each of these prospective retrograde periods for the planets. And then also the themes if the character is the planet, then the sign that it is retrograding in is the outfit it's wearing. If Jupiter is retrograding in Cancer, we have abundance, growth, expansion is the character, and it's taking on a more nurturing, familial, homey type of vibe. So blending those two energies when we think about those two different things when it comes to each of these retrogrades. Now is not the time to circle back to people. Retrogrades can bring up a lot of past reflections and also longing for certain people and wanting to go backwards in some sense or revisit certain things that have already been, they've come to completion. Not the time to circle back to past people. It is a time to lean into those parts of yourself that have been lost. Think about all these themes that I just spoke about. What within yourself, what about those themes can you cultivate within yourself right now? Retrogrades also tend to revisit times that we felt most alive. So being very very nostalgic and just thinking about the happier times about things. And maybe that was with certain people. And that's why there's this urge to reach out. But are you really longing for the person? Or are you longing for the version of you that existed when they were in your life, if they are no longer in your life? Maybe that's what you're craving, is the version of yourself that existed, that still exists, because it is you, it is within you to access that when this person was in your life. Something to sit with, some food for thought as we wrap up all of these, half of these retrogrades really, and then we have a couple that are going to carry us into 2026. As the theme this week is gratitude and connection, we really want to think about slowing it down, receiving nourishment, letting other people care for you and tend to you, sharing meals with each other, being in community, and thinking about physical touch and human closeness. And also appreciating the here and now, what we have versus maybe what we don't have. And a lot of these holidays can bring those feelings up of what we don't have, but really trying to bring it back to being appreciative for what is here and now and what we have in this present moment. Just about finding gratitude in simple ways. So let's get into holistic care for this week, and I will try to make this short, sweet, and to the point so we can close out with our guided meditation and you can go about your week. This week, nearly every category is probably going to be highlighted for you. And if you're watching this, I'll probably put the categories somewhere on the screen here, and I'll just go out of the way for a little bit so that we have some space for that to be on the screen. Relationships, your social life, home cooking, nourishment, sleep, rest, joy, home environment, emotional well-being, your community, spirituality, connection, physical touch. Here's how to care for all of these things as we move into this week. Home cooking and nourishment. These are big topics for the week as a lot of holiday foods can spark a lot of emotion. Emotion in terms of it being made with love, sharing the meal with people that we love, being in community with people that we love. But also, if there's any disordered eating type of thoughts that are coming up, this time can be very stressful. And I know in the past for myself, as being someone who is recovered from an eating disorder, I don't know how many years it's been now, but it's never about never having those disordered eating thoughts. It's always about how you approach them when they do resurface, because they will resurface at some point, unfortunately. But it's just about how you reframe those thoughts when they are coming up. So just letting yourself enjoy the meal. Don't worry about calories or anything like that. And I know a lot of people say that, oh, especially if you are a really fit person, like, oh, you can afford a few extra calories. It's not going to kill you. Like, you're still young, whatever it is. I hate that, by the way. Yeah, this week is not about numbers. It is about pure enjoyment and being in community, sharing the dishes with each other, sharing in shared space. And think about like if you have your in your family or in your friend group, passing recipes, sharing recipes, food that feels familiar and food that brings us joy. So, Thanksgiving is one of my all time favorite holidays because I am such a foodie and I love all of the food that is served there. Unfortunately, I will not be eating it this year, but a lot of my friends are out of town. So, I am probably going to get some tamales, watch a cute little Hallmark movie or something, or a Disney movie. I've been doing a lot of that lately. I've been feeling, like I said, very nostalgic and call it a day and just have a very cozy Thanksgiving with myself and my two cat babies, which I've never done that before. And I feel like so much stimulation is constantly around the holidays, and I will be home for Christmas for an extended period of time. So, really, just allowing this little holiday to myself. That's what feels good to me this year. So, yes, your body knows what to do, what nourishment it needs, and having gratitude for the food that you share, and also gratitude and pleasure for these two things are such a huge part of your well being. Moving into relationships, social life, and community, we're just going to group all of those together. This week can hit differently for different people. If you are gathering with people, let yourself be fully present in those connections, but also keeping an eye on taking space when you need it. Super important. Step outside to take some deep breaths. Remember that you are allowed to have boundaries. If your social battery expires at a certain time, thank you so much for having me. I'm going to head out. Whenever you need to do that. Don't forget that it is okay to express your boundaries in a healthy and polite way, of course. And on this one day, a lot of differing family dynamics can come up, and you don't need to fix them. They are what they are. Not one holiday sitting or situation is going to repair years and years of things. So, really just let yourself be with your family, let yourself enjoy the moments, and let yourself enjoy that space to be around people that you love and care about. If you are not gathering this week, like myself, well, I am sort of gathering. I'm having a Friendsgiving dinner on Wednesday night, but on actual Thanksgiving, I'll just be chilling. So if you are not gathering on the day, like myself, it could also bring up a lot of grief or grief at the same time as joy, because two emotions are allowed to exist at the same time. You could have the grief of not being around people, of not going to a gathering, but also relief and joy that you get to spend this time with yourself, that you get to have a little holiday to yourself. Sometimes that is needed. I also plan to put up all my Christmas decorations. All of these spooky season decorations are finally going to come down. I am so sad, and I feel like there's been so many people who have already have put all of their stuff up, and I'm like, can you guys stop rushing me? Like, it is barely November 24th, so we haven't even hit December yet. I love spooky season. I also love Christmas as it is my birthday month. A lot of joy and gathering is surrounding the whole month for me. But spooky season, I think I favor a little bit more, just a little bit more. And yeah, so holding space for all of the emotions that are coming up, you can also create your own ritual. Like, I plan to go get tamales, and then I'm going to put up all of my holiday decorations. And also, you can FaceTime someone who feels like a safe person. I will be FaceTiming my family members. Usually, when we are not all gathered together for a holiday, we will all FaceTime each other. So that is like my own mini ritual and tradition. And you can also let your friends be your chosen family. If you are not gathering with your actual family, and maybe even that is part of the message that we heard earlier, is asking for help. Hey, what are you doing for Thanksgiving? Oh, I'm going to a friend's thing. Do you mind if I come with you? If you would like to be around community and gathering, definitely seek out those connections during this time. And let's touch on the physical touch and the co-regulation piece of this week. We often forget how much touch is so healing for us. When I was a stretch therapist, I could not stress enough how human touch and human connection, physical connection, hugs, hand squeezes, sitting close to people, a hand on your shoulder, a long hug. Touch lowers stress hormones. It regulates your nervous system. It brings us back into feeling safe in our bodies and with ourselves. This week, especially, notice where your body is craving that closeness or is craving space. There's been too much touch lately, maybe, and honor that. I will also be releasing a Substack piece about how we are not being touched enough in today's day and age. And it is not sexual in any form, although sexual intimacy is a portion of that. If you are single, if you are in a relationship, it is such a good piece, if I may say so myself, that I would love to share. I will share it probably with everyone that I know because I'm so passionate about this topic. So I will be releasing that piece on touch starvation today, actually. Head over to my Substack if this is a topic that interests you. Something you could probably read on a plane when you're traveling somewhere, between your gatherings, or instead of watching whatever sports ball is usually on the TV over this holiday weekend. If you are not a sports girly like myself, I wouldn't say I'm not a sports girly, but I wouldn't actively choose to put on sports, but I do love going to sporting events with my friends and things and being in that shared community and experiencing it together. I'm a big experience it together type of person. Okay. And then your home environment and creating comfort. This week, your space should be so supportive for you, especially with the astrological energy, with the holiday energy, with wrapping up maybe work if you are taking some time off. All of that is a lot, and it can kind of be compounding in a very stressful way. So, lighting candles, putting on some chill, relaxing music while you are maybe tidying your space. So if you are going on vacation or you are traveling, I love coming home to a clean space. So I will clean pretty much my entire space before I leave. And then when I come home, I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot I did this. Like, this is so nice to come home to a clean apartment. Wear some cozy clothing, make some tea. I am a sucker for a nice hot cup of tea or a hot cup of soup. It is slowly starting to become soup season here. I think it's supposed to be a bit colder here in Denver next week, finally, which is like, come on, you know? It's about time. All of these tiny little things are going to help regulate your nervous system and ground you as we move through all of this crazy landscape. And then that brings me to your nervous system. Nervous system right now, like we just discussed, travel stress, family dynamics, emotional processing. You could be processing a lot. Sensory overload. Oof, that is a big one for me, I think. I am from a very loud Latina household. If you are not yelling or talking over each other. Your point will never be heard. It's a lot of overstimulation. Paying close attention to yourself in terms of that and supporting yourself with maybe some breath work. Especially breath work is so easy to do literally anywhere. You could do it on a train, on a plane, because most of the time people don't even know that you're doing it, especially in spaces where people have headphones on, or you could do it if you go to the bathroom and just be in there for 5 minutes and people, no one has to know what you're doing. Do lots of shoulder stretches to release the tension, open up the front of the body. When we get stressed, we tend to turn ourselves inward and hunch over, chest sunken in. So anything to reopen our bodies that are going to tell us we are safe, we are confident. Taking some grounding walks if you need a bit of space or if you need to step away from certain things. I know this week I'll be taking probably quite a few walks before I end and wrap up the week early on Wednesday. Drink lots of water. Make sure you are hydrated this week. And then some other things that I wrote down. Try not to over-explain yourself. Definitely pause before you react. Being around other people. And then you don't need to be perfectly regulated. You just need your small little toolkit of your go-to things that are going to help you regulate, especially in environments that can easily tip you out of regulation. And then our very last category, joy, gratitude, and the small moments. I really want to emphasize that gratitude should not be forced positivity. Really, it's just noticing this week where you are grateful for things. And kind of like that also rewires your brain into seeking out things to be grateful about. So this week, look for warmth, look for areas where you share togetherness and community, laughter, all the good smells that accompany everything, the comfort of being cared for, the pleasure of feeling full, maybe too full if we, go for our Thanksgiving meal 1, 2, and 3. I know I'm just eating Thanksgiving food probably all throughout the day when I'm with my family. And then just the joy of being able to experience these things, being present in the moment with the people that you love the most. The joy of getting to be alive and experience all of these on the deepest level, especially when we are the most present. Gratitude is the simplest way to reset your nervous system. So with all of that information, I know I just word vomited at you for quite a bit of time. I do want to transition into our meditation. So if you need to pause, get a quick sip of water or tea, or go to the bathroom before we get into our meditation, please pause the video here and then we will go into it. I'm going to light some incense for you before we start and get my tuning forks ready. So go ahead and just pause if you need to take a little break or if you need to relocate to a space where you can sit or lay down uninterrupted. Now's the time. And we are back. We have our incense lit. And I am, of course, going to start today's meditation with my tuning fork so that you know exactly when to settle into everything and when the meditation is wrapping up, so you don't have to come out of your flow state before you are ready. So just know we are still in meditation until the end, the second chime of my tuning fork. So hopefully now you are somewhere where you can find a posture that feels supportive and comfortable and where you will be uninterrupted. You can be seated, lying down. It's how I prefer to meditate. but whatever works for you. Just let your awareness land in this moment. Feel the connection between your body and the surface beneath you. Taking a slow breath in through the nose and then a longer breath out. And just let your shoulders soften, relaxing your hands and clenching your jaw. And letting your eyes close and soften completely. Allow your breath to drop you into your body. Notice how you are breathing. Take one more deep breath. And exhaling fully, releasing whatever you arrived here and have been carrying today. And bring your attention to your physical body. Notice how your breath moves on its own, how it moves through your body. Can you notice your heart? Can you feel it beating? And just tapping into all of the subtle sensations that you're feeling right now. See if you can be the observer, and without forcing gratitude, where does appreciation naturally come up for you? Where does it feel harder? Just notice without the judgment. Even the smallest acknowledgement of gratitude is enough. where in your body can you show appreciation? What about your body can you show appreciation for? Now I want you to think about all of the people in your life, those who support you, who challenge you, who love you, or those who just simply walk beside you in the small ways. Who's been a highlight for you this year? Who has shown up for you, even subtly? And let yourself feel gratitude for any moment of connection, kindness, or care, big or small. And if any relationships feel complicated, you don't need to try to understand right now. But what can you show gratitude for from those people? Can you acknowledge what is present between the two of you while simultaneously holding gratitude for them as well? And now shifting to our relationship with stability, money, work, support, or any other resources in your life that help you function. Where has gratitude been present this year when it comes to all of these? And where has it been overlooked? And if you are in need of these things, how can you show gratitude for what you do have, for where you are, and finally thinking about the places, the people, or the qualities that help you feel safe. It could be your home, a friend of yours, a pet, community, your ancestors, or your own resilience. Notice where you felt protected or held this year, even in the smallest ways. And what can you be thankful for in terms of your safety and those who support you? And a reminder as we close, gratitude is the practice of noticing. Noticing the little things, the big things, those everyday things that we can take for granted. Clean air, clean water, electricity, a roof over our heads. Gratitude expands our world and puts us in a place to drop into our deepest connections. It is a portal to our manifestations, to receiving more the more we are thankful. Allow yourself to feel gratitude completely for all of these areas in your life. To know that you are loved, you are supported, and your life has been made richer from all of these things you reflected on being grateful for today. And as we close here, you can begin to invite some movement back into your body. Wiggling the toes, wiggling the fingers, maybe slowly turning your neck from side to side till landing in the middle, and slowly blinking your eyes open. And if you would like a few extra moments of silence, you can pause the video here. Thank you for spending today's ritual with me. I know it was a bit lengthier, but I hope you enjoyed every single second of it. Happy birthday to all of my Sagittariuses, including myself, I suppose. I hope that you feel nourished, connected, supported, and deeply loved the rest of this holiday season, and that with our ritual of cultivating gratitude in our lives, you feel a bit more appreciative and thankful for even those little things. And remember, gratitude is the practice of bringing in awareness to those things in your life. Connection is medicine. Touch is healing. Food is love. Community matters. Have the most amazing rest of your week. And next week I will see you here just for our meditation only episode. Until the next one, I'm Camilla Celeste, signing off.